You missed Nolan Live? It's on the BBC iPlayer right now. During the programme, we revealed a new computer system which has been set up in Northern Ireland whereby children can be recorded as no longer boys or girls, and they can hide the fact that they have changed their identity from their parents. There's actually a drop-down part. It's a little checkbox in this new system that's in schools in Northern Ireland, where if it's ticked, it means that if the child is in school, having changed their identity when they walk through the school gates, the parents may not ever know. They tick that box in the school system, and it means that parents may not be told about what is happening to their children inside school. For example, a young child can insist their gender pronouns are registered as Z, Zim, Zer, on what is called the School Information Management System. A little boy, a little girl, the EA guidance on kids questioning their gender is that parents should not be told unless the child has specifically agreed. So what's wrong with that? I say a little girl, a little boy. What if that little child decides that they're neither a little boy or a little girl? Is it not more important for them to have the identity that makes them feel comfortable and happy? But the discussion this morning is also around parents and their right to know against the right of their child for them not to know. 03030 80 55 55 is the number to call this morning. Jim Allister was noticed this. He brought this story to us. I'll ask him how he became aware of the computer system and why he's concerned.
Well, I discovered it because having made some comments about gender issues, a school teacher contacted me and said, have you looked at the SIMS system? Now, the SIMS is the school's information management system, whereby perfectly legitimate information mostly about children is recorded, their medical history, their age, their date of birth, etc., and it is a useful tool. But I then discovered, because I'm chairman of a board of governors of a primary school, that within that SIMS system, the latest edition now has a drop-down box whereby the child, at their discretion, can decree by what pronoun they want to be described, and then a further drop-down box which indicates that it can be concealed from the parent. In other words, it's to be used only in school. So you have a situation where Johnny leaves home as Johnny, can decide to go into school and say, I want to be called Janine, I want to be referred to as she or some other pronoun. Toilet accommodation has to be adjusted, etc. And then they go home again and become Johnny. And all of that, clandestinely, protected from the knowledge of the parents. Now, that seems to me fundamentally wrong, that system should be in operation behind the backs of parents.
Well, you're saying it's wrong from your point of view, but it's maybe not wrong from the point of view of the child who wants to confide in someone and doesn't want their parents to know. They're not comfortable with their parents knowing. So what does that child do, Jim, if they don't want their parents to know? Do they hold it in and speak to no one? No,
well, let's be clear. They are a child, so their legal guardian, in most cases, is their parent. The parent has a right to know. Even the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child in Article 14 says the states should not conceal from the parents matters pertaining to children. So, it's a fundamental. And yet here we have this clandestine process in our primary schools, even in our very preschools. Because the guidance that's been issued by the Education Authority applies right through the gambit of education. So even in those schools, they have this facility to facilitate concealment from parents of something which creates this absurd situation where in school you're a girl, at home you're a boy, or vice versa. Who's trying to mess with the heads of these children when you arrive at that situation? And, even in England...
Jim, it's messing with the heads of children rather than empowering children that they are who they believe they want to be.
Yes, but the child might think that today and think something different tomorrow.
The child might think that today and continue to think that for the rest of their life, and might have a spirit in them, which is, Jim Allister, no one will tell me who I want to be. I'll decide who I am.
And I will not tell my parents. My parents, who are they? What interest of theirs is it? Those who look after me, provide for me, they shouldn't know any of this. I think they should, and I think it's quite clear. And this is why in England, for example, where this has just gone as far as this, we now have NHS guidance from NHS England saying schools should not conceal from parents this information. We had the Education Minister, Gillian Keegan, in England over the summer saying that government guidance is coming, but in the meantime, schools should always engage with and inform the parents. That seems to me a fundamental precept, a premise of any of this, that an educational process is one involving child and parent. So how dare a school, under the Education Authority, at their guidance, facilitate a situation where they shut out the parent?
Well, that's Jim Allison, the TV leader, 030 30 80 55 55.